will be, how do you say? They will be completely flooded and immersed. They go under the sea. So many things. Anyway, so this Vasanta, spring, is from mid-March to mid-May. Then we have Grishma or summer. It is only March now, right? Yeah, it is March 17. Mid-March means now spring is supposed to start. But you can feel down south here, it is so hot. You cannot go outside after 10. It's like already summer is set in. I don't know what will happen when you are in May, June. May. So this Grishma comes from mid-May to mid-July, the peak summer season. Then there is Varsha, the rainy season, when generally this Chaturma starts. That is from mid-July to mid-September. Then we have the Sharad season, which is from mid-September to mid-November. And finally, not finally, the fifth one is Hemanta, or it's like pre-winter, just before winter season, and late autumn. Sharad season after that. Sharad season is like autumn, and then late autumn. And that Hemanta, that comes from mid-November to mid-January. Then from mid-January to mid-March, we have the winter season, which is called Shishira. Shita. And during all these seasons, the effect on the trees are completely different. Like during Vasanta, it is considered, the effect is that it's considered a time of revival and renewal. And trees become very vibrant and green after the cold winter. So this is a blooming season. You see all beautiful flowers, and the plants are, so much nice varieties and all very fragrant. And it is mentioned that Agni is residing in the plants during this time, and this Agni produces a lot of life-giving energy. So it helps the plants to assimilate more and produce all these varieties of flowers. Then we come to Grishma. The heat goes up like anything. The sun, it is shining very intensely, and it causes all the water to dry up. So what happens is that the trees and these shrubs and all, they shed their leaves, and they look like they are burnt by the intense heat. Summer season, everything looks dry. Even the land, sometimes, if you are not watering it, it becomes correct. So this is a period of stress for not only the trees and plants, the stavara, but many human beings and others. Everybody is stressed out during summer. Then we have Varsha, or the rainy season, and effect is there is torrential rains and dark clouds. So the rain actually brings life. It revitalizes this entire environment. And the trees and bushes, they start sprouting new leaves. Even within few days, you see they start growing up all these green leaves. And especially mentioned in Vrindavan, this Kadamba and Kutaja, all the trees that are born from seeds, all these, they start blooming and they enhance the beauty of the forest. This is during the rainy season. Then we come to Sharad, or the autumn season, and the Ras Leela take place during Sharad Purnima, and then there is one in Kartik Purnima. 2 times the Ras Leela takes place, the main ones. So the Sharad thing is a time of nourishment. The trees, they start to yield fruits. This is from mid-September to mid-November. So you see all the flowers have slowly, gradually turned into fruits, and they're being pollinated by all the bees and other insects, and they start yielding fruits. And the main thing is, during this time, you will get abundant food. So many varieties of nice fruits and everything you can. Vegetables. Then we come to Hemanta, or the late autumn season, from mid-November to January. And in this time, what happened, the cold wind, they start blowing around. So the trees, because of the cold, they kind of they start to go dormant. And then this growth process, all these leaves and other things, everything slows down very much. And then finally, we come to winter. So winter is from mid-January to mid-March. So there, The same way heat burns up the trees and they lose all the leaves, this cold also, it also burns up the tree. So the trees often, they look very barren. So all the leaves are gone and looks very barren. And during this time, the most deciduous trees, they lose their leaves and the forest becomes very quiet actually, and it is just getting itself ready for the spring. Now all these trees and all these seasons, they were manifest in Vrindavan when Krishna was there. But otherwise, you'll have to wait for that particular period to have all this. So you want flowers, you'll get flowers, nice flowers in spring. You want fruits, then you'll get nice fruits during the Sharad season. Varieties of fruits and nice vegetables. So the main thing is that the Vedas, they consider the trees as having consciousness. That's why some trees are worshipped. And they also have feeling, they also have pain similar to human beings. You can talk to your plant. There are some people who do that. And you see, the more you talk to it, the more that plant flourishes. In Europe, somewhere, there are tree huggers. They call them tree huggers. They go, they just, like hug all the trees in the neighborhood and give them all kind of love. Now just imagine somebody is coming and, they are hugging you very tightly. You feel kind of safe, you feel kind of loved. It's the same thing, they are expressing that with the trees. They just go, any random tree they find, they just go run and they hug the tree. So they are conscious living entities. Only thing, they cannot move, Stabara and also Padapa. They eat through their feet. So we eat from above through a mouth, but they eat through their feet. Then there are sacred trees, I already mentioned, like Ashwatha, Bilva, and they are used in different rituals also, like mango leaves. We use that mango leaves as a symbol of fertility and auspiciousness. So we put it in front of the house around the yajna, for decorating the yajna sthala and all that. Then the trees and crops and the environment both are interdependent. So if there are more trees, naturally there will be good rains. But the less the trees are there, the possibility of more rains appearing is very, very rare. So the land is actually dependent on the trees also, very much dependent. And especially during the Vedic age, if you're cutting one tree, you plant 10 more. This is a Vedic custom, especially during the rainy season. Like Prabhupada in America, I think one of the disciples, there was a branch next to the temple courtyard where Prabhupada sometimes used to walk, and this branch of the tree was getting in the way. So immediately, nice big old tree, he cut that branch off. So Prabhupada became very upset. He said, you Americans, you guys, you always very wasteful. Why did you cut it unnecessarily? We could have side steps and we could have gone round. It's not a big thing. Although he did it with all good intention, but to simply grow that big fat limb from the tree, it is so very difficult. So this is some of the things I can recall, because the purport is also very small. But everybody appreciates trees, especially during summer. If there is a huge tree and you go sit in the shade, you get so much relief. Then there is Mahaprabhu's famous quote, Trinadapi Sunichena Tarorapi Sahishnu Amanina Manadena Ittaniya Sada. Even the trees, which normally we ignore, like when you're sitting in a car and traveling, you see all this greenery. You don't really think that, that tree is so tolerant in all seasons, is simply staying in one spot. And even if somebody is coming to cut it or chop it and, completely destroy it, it doesn't protest. It doesn't do that. It's a very shining symbol of tolerance, the trees. And Mahaprabhu, especially one Acharya also has said, if you are able to put a necklace of this verse, Trinadapi Sunichena Tarorapi Saishnu, if you are able to do this, then he said, you can always chant Hare Krishna. You can always be on the spiritual path. But people have zero tolerance and forget about Trinadapi. What is that? Saishnu now. Zero tolerance, and what is the other one? Pranadapi Sunichena, humility, the main thing. So the trees are living proof. So whenever you see a tree, you will understand the level that tolerance and the level of thing that the tree is putting up with. Doesn't go ask anybody, I'm hungry, please give me a little water, I'm thirsty. Never does anything. Doesn't trouble anybody else. It tolerates. And the other thing the acharyas have said is that, what is that? Savara Deki. Even when they look at the trees, those who are elevated devotees of the Lord, Deke Ishtamurti, they see their Ishta Devata there. They don't see the tree per se, but they see this tree is the energy of the Lord, and when they see a tree or a plant, they immediately remember, oh, this is Krishna. So even the trees, what to speak about Tulsi Maharani and all the other spiritual trees, just simply looking at the tree can bring you to Krishna consciousness. The trees are mentioned in the Bhagavatam as a hair on the body of the Lord, on the universal body of the Lord. So people nowadays, they are so very interested in hair. Bhagavatam is saying, Lavanyam Keshadara. You look very handsome or beautiful if you have a lot of hair. The Prabhupada said you shave regularly. So the trees are the hair of the Lord. I think I'll stop here. Thank you very much for your patient listening. So Brahmaji is also opening his eyes and he's admiring all the trees of Vrindavan. This is a sloka. Do you have any questions, suggestions, or comments, please? Rich.
Thank you, Prabhu. It was really very wonderful class. We have covered a lot of things. So, any questions by our devotees? All these trees manifest varieties of fruits according to seasons. And that is very important point. Like if we totally dependent on trees, then many problems, many issues will be resolved. And trees also have consciousness. So like sometime I heard this, like if you just chastise these trees or small plants also, their growth is not very proper.
Yeah,
like our words,
stunted.
Yes, our words matter. Like what type of signals or what type of things we are giving input to that tree or the plant.
Yeah, it is true. They are living beings. So they have all the emotions, feelings, everything. Who was that? I think Bose, right? He conducted some experiment with trees. That trees also have feelings and in Vrindavan, the trees, when the Lord came, they would go down and they would offer all their fruits and flowers at the Lord's feet. Maybe they cannot walk, but they can go down and they can shower flowers on it. They used to do that. The trees there, they used to do that.
So like in Vedic period, as you told, that people were totally dependent on nature. So there were no issues. But in modern times, we see that we are living in cities and there are very scarcity of trees. So like in the name of development, this is a problem which comes sometimes. Like can we have such type of development where we can have trees and at the same time industries also, and our sustainable development, something like that? Is it sustainable development is just like some hypothetical thing, or is it really it works?
See, they simply use all these fancy words. But the thing is, the real issue is that this is all Ugra Karma actually. And it is meant to destroy the world. First they produce plastic. Then they say plastic is choking up the ocean, choking up the land because it doesn't degrade. It's not biodegradable. Before they used to use the plant leaves. As a kid, I used to see my grandfather, he used to put this mixture, right, within this leaves, and they would tie it with a rope. Everything was natural. They used to eat in banana leaves, so there was no need for plates and other things. So many ways. And after eating that banana from the banana leaf, your prasadam, you can just throw it away. And when they burn wood, they use the ash for cleaning. So you don't need all these detergents and other chemicals that they are using. And they simply take some cow dung and the house was clean. All these disinfectants they have, every way, whatever they are doing, ultimately it will create so many problems. They simply use all these words, green, go green, and sustainability, and working together, but it doesn't work together. Ultimately, if we don't come down, that's what Prabhupada said, you have your own farm and you depend on it. Otherwise, it becomes very difficult in the future. The more the so-called progress, this industrialization and all these things are going on, the more there will be problems. Nowadays, they are so much scared that these AI agents will take over. They are producing this artificial intelligence, right? There could be all these machines and other things that come and they will take over your jobs and take over everything. So where is the question of sustainability? It's all, eyewash. But there will be reaction. The more you kill animals, the more you cut down these trees, there will be a big reaction one day. So there will be kind of war and things will again go back to the basics. Prabhupada said, no, you become a sher, become like a lion, and then ultimately you will become chua. You will have to go hide underground. Nature will see to that, that these things are very difficult. It's very difficult. Very, very difficult. And the more you're depending on all these machines, the more you become lazy. People, they're not active nowadays. You see so many lifestyle diseases are there. You just use your phone, you order, food comes to you. You order, vegetable comes to you. Everything is home delivered. You don't even go walking to the market, which is like maybe 10 minutes walk. You don't want to. And you're going out, you're carrying you're going out by vehicle, by car. Olden days, sadhus used to walk. Even if you are going to visit holy places, all the way from south to Himalayas, they would walk. So this natural way of living has been completely forgotten. People are becoming so dependent on these machines. The machines to do surgery. Everything. There's a story, right, in the Mahabharata, when Krishna and Arjuna were hunting in the forest. Agnidev, he came as an old Brahmana, and he said, these people, they are doing so much yajna, they are feeding me so much ghee, my stomach is upset. So I need to burn this Kandava forest so that I can, take all the herbs, and also the animals which live there, their fat also becomes medicine. So please let me. So Krishna said, you go ahead and do it. What is the problem? Then we were saying, as soon as I try to, burn the forest, this Indradev is a friend of the forest king, so he starts pouring rain. So then Krishna and Arjuna, they decide to help, and they form this, with mantra, they form all this barricade. Simply with arrows, they form a very perfect, waterproof shield over the forest, entire forest. And also surrounding, they make this very nice fence with two gates. One side Arjuna is staying and one side Lord is staying, Lord Krishna is. Inside the forest, then Agni goes and starts to burn up the entire forest, consume the forest. So this guy, Maya Danav, he was there. Maya Danav is the architect of the demons, the asuras. Like Vishwakarma is the architect of the demigods. This Maya Danav is his asuric counterpart. So this guy was there and he was trying to escape from the forest, from being burnt up. So he ran towards Krishna, but then Krishna will not let the demons go. So he ran the other way around and he went and surrendered to Arjuna. Please say that. Arjuna is a Kshatriya, so he said, okay, I'll protect you. Now don't worry, your life is safe. And this fellow, he feels obliged. This Mayadanav, he feels obliged. Let me give you something in return. And he was offering yantra technology. He was offering machine technology to Arjuna. He produced so many beautiful robots. They look like real people. They wash your clothes, they'll massage you, they'll cook for you, but they are all machines. So this is not a new thing. Nowadays you're seeing all these robots which are walking around, carrying beverages and all these things. Only thing, they wouldn't talk. That those machines, they look exactly like human beings. They do most of the jobs, but they will not talk. So he was offering this yantra. Yantra means machine, yantra technology to Arjun. But then Krishna stepped in and said, no, this is mantra technology age. Yantra technology is reserved for Kali. So then he told him, if you want to give something, you find all the most beautiful architectural designs in the heavenly planet, in the earthly planet, middle planets, and down lower planets. You bring all this and put it together and make a beautiful hall, Sabha, so that he can rule over and all that. And Maya Danav, he did that. So when he entered that hall only, the Duryodhana, he became confused. First he thought it was so finely polished, that marble or glass, whatever was there. And he lifted his dhoti so that I don't want to get my thing wet. But then there was nice marble there, he was able to walk. So later on when he came to something similar, he thought again it should be some kind of solid structure, and he put his leg and he fell down in the water. And Draupadi started laughing. See, Andaka, blind person's son is also blind. That's something. And Krishna was encouraging, you laugh more. But Yudhishthira Maharaj was feeling very bad. They say the whole Mahabharat war started because of that. Duryodhana became very furious. Became object of. So this is the thing. So now we see everything we are dependent. There is a mobile, there is a laptop, and whenever we go out, again we need some bike, some conveyance. Everything is like that. Even to grind something, nowadays they don't even use this. They use a mixie for that. The whole day, we are so much dependent on all these things. And that is a question of sustainability. Simply surviving because of the mercy of the Lord. This is not how, you see, those animals, they don't do any of these things. When they are sick, they starve. They go eat some natural thing. If the dog has some indigestion problem, he will go eat some grass, he will vomit everything out. Or they will fast like that. They'll just remain like that for 1 or 2 weeks. They don't eat. They're natural. And so their life is going on very smoothly. For us, everything has to be comfortably arranged, lodged, and then 1,000 complaints, 1,000 problems, and then there's fighting. This material world, not fit place.
Yes, thank you very much. Hare Krishna.
Wind up, huh? So there are no more questions, we can wind up, huh?
Yes, sir.
जय गुरु महाराज श्रील श्रीपाद की जय, जगत गुरु श्रील प्रभुपाद की जय, ग्रंथराज श्रीमद् भागवतम की जय, जय बीए भक्त वृंद की जय, संवेद गौर भक्त वृंद,
जय
हरे कृष्ण।